Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Regular old glasses on. I forgot to put these on, so I'm not even going to worry about them. It's Tuesday, and normally it would be self-awareness card 32 is what I think we're on, but I'm going to take a break from that deck for a little bit just because I need to be at my top peak when doing those, because I feel like when I'm giving you a message from these cards, getting into the vortex or basically getting into your self-awareness, you deserve the best from me and not me struggling through whatever my brain is going through. Recently had a big birthday. A lot of people are going to think that's it. That is actually not it. I think what it is shifting out of my 40s has kind of caused a lot of stuff. Good morning, baby sibling. So instead of focusing right now on the self-awareness cards, I'm like I said, for the next few days, I think I'm going to take a little break from those. And I just really want to talk about mental health because mine has been jacked bad. And I don't know why. And so it's kind of been this. So I figure, I'm not going to talk about my mental health the whole time, but I do have things that I'll probably read. These probably won't be that long, but I don't want to miss too many of these because then if I get into the habit of not doing them, then that will just end up being a bad thing too. So I'm going to do the cards really quick while I wait for people to come on. And then we'll get to one of the things I pulled up that I actually shared a couple years ago and I really love. So again, I'm just taking a little short break from the self-awareness cards. And I really love those cards. They really kind of get into the core of your soul, right? I mean, it's what we're doing now to follow up on the 30 lessons of self-love. So I think they're really, really great. I love them. And like I said, I want to be able to the cards are a little complicated, so I want to be able to give you my best because you deserve my best and not just me half-assing my way through it. So, all right, let's see what these cards got. These are actually from Baby Sibling and they're amazing. You were always just one decision away from a magically different life. You were always just one decision away from a magically different life. And it's true. All you have to really decide is, do I claim it or do I just keep letting it sit out in the world? And that's up to you. Do you want to claim it? Do you want to claim a good life for yourself? Do you feel you are deserving and worthy of a good life? Because I personally think everybody is deserving and worthy of a good life. That is a good person. I know, I can go in 10 different directions that way. But I think if we have self-belief in ourselves and we really kind of work on that self-love and that self-awareness, I truly believe that, we can create a magical life for ourselves when we stop holding on to what we thought life was going to look like and embrace what life does actually look like. I think that's helpful. So I also want to note, I'm really happy and excited that Baby Sibling's on today. Unfortunately, she's on for not such a great reason on why she's home today, but I do appreciate you coming on. So anyways, one decision, and that decision is, do you choose it? Do you claim it? Once you choose it and you claim it and you fully put that energy behind it, everything else will fall into place. Master of frequency or victim of circumstances, your choice. So are you the master of frequency or the victim of circumstances? It's your choice. So bad things happen, right? And they can be super shitty. And but what do? Do we lean into the pain, or do we take the time to grieve it, give it some space, give it some compassion, give it some empathy, and then move forward when it's time? Some people choose to stay stuck in their past. Other people choose to move forward. Baby Sibling, surprisingly, she's on. Or not surprisingly she's on, but surprisingly she's on during this particular card because she's a product of that. She's chosen better. She's chosen to move forward. She's chosen to just kind of say, you know what? I'm putting up the barriers behind me. No more ish. Period. All right. Moving forward. So she is what I would consider the master of her frequency because she chooses. to not be a victim of her circumstances. So, you live in a waking dream all day and all night. So play the role you desire and create the world you want. One decision, right? One decision. You're one decision away from a magically different life. But you live in a waking dream. So I think a lot of times we put on ourselves that we can't do things. We're not capable of things. We're not, I see this person living in this ginormous 5-bedroom, 40,000 bathroom house, and that'll never be mine. But why? You know why it'll never be yours? Because that's exactly what you're thinking. When we believe that we deserve good things, again, when we believe we deserve good things, everything starts to fall into place. But you can't just think it. You have to feel it. All right? The universe, your higher powers, whatever it is that you throw your attention towards, they need your vibration and your energy to match it. Now, whether you believe in universal law or not, it definitely believes in you. And the best way I can explain that is when you're having a bad day and you refuse to get out of your bad day, things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And you may think, well, that's just because it's how it is. No, it's because the universe is literally matching your vibration. When you have a great day, you're thinking, well, everything's going smooth. But the minute you sit there and you go to bed and you think, well, I doubt tomorrow will be as good as today. Well, that's exactly what's going to happen because now you're putting it in your head. You have to constantly think well. And even when shitty and bad things happen, you have those tools to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm off. Or I'm out. And, like I said, you'll grieve it, you'll give it compassion, you'll give it empathy, and then you'll move forward. And you won't sit there and fester in it. You won't let it grow angry roots. Because you do move forward, because you do face it head on. And that's hard. That's hard. There's a lot of life situations that you just really want to punch in the face because you don't deserve them. But they happen. And they're an unfortunate part of life. But how we deal with it is really how we deal with it is how we rise. So, what am I choosing? What am I choosing? What am I choosing? All right, this seems to go perfectly with all these other cards. I should have looked at the other ones. But, so the next one's perfect. So what are you choosing? What are you choosing? Are you choosing to just kind of that? Because I feel like that's where I'm at. And I'll get into that in a second. But here's the last one. Your superpower is the ability to choose what you tune into. So choose creativity or choose creatively. Now, do you think that these two cards were an accident that they came up one after the other? No, it is not. The universe is literally, or your higher power, your source, whoever, God, is literally slapping you upside the head and say, what are you choosing? Are you choosing something that gives you the beautiful life that you know you deserve? Or are you choosing to just, stick with the feelings that you've had that are angry, that are hurt, that are in pain? And, and I'm not speaking to anyone directly. This is just, if it resonates with you, it resonates with you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh, that just made my day. My nephew just said hi. Hi, Victor. So you get to choose. What are you choosing? All right. And then once more, your superpower is the ability to choose what you tune into. So choose creatively now. Be your own hero. Be the hero of your story. We can sit there and say, oh, this person was in my life and I'm so grateful because they changed my life forever and blah, blah, blah. But did you ever think about the fact that maybe your energy brought that person in? Maybe you sitting there putting your foot down about certain feelings brought that person in or brought these people into your life. I had my huge birthday brunch this weekend and I felt bad because there was a lot of people that I just couldn't invite because there wasn't a lot of space. If anybody saw the pictures on Facebook, there was not a lot of space. And so I invited people that have been in my life for years and years and years. And that I just 100% absolutely, I love all my friends and I adore all my friends, but the people that were there were really people that are like my family. And it's not a knock on anybody. Okay, I promise, because I know there are people that watch this that probably weren't there and are wondering, wait, why wasn't I? And I do apologize for that, but I was having anxiety before that. And again, not because I turned 50, but because I'm sitting there and I have not been in a group of people this big since probably Thanksgiving. But even then, my family's so spread apart. But I mean, in close proximity with other people around us, which is noise, 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 noise. And I was worried that I wasn't going to do well. I was worried that I would just freak out and fall apart. But I did okay. And it was something I needed so bad. Something I needed so bad. And it felt good to be a part of the world again. It felt good to be out there and just living and being excited and enjoying all those people. And I'm excited because this weekend I get to see, more family. Okay, I don't know if it's a secret for other people that they're going out of town this weekend, but I'm excited. So, actually, I think they know. So I get to see baby sibling this weekend. I get to see all my other family and my cousins, and a little tiny reunion with a couple of my cousins and their friends. So, but the funny thing is when I got home the next day. Oh, okay. She says they know. So I get to see baby sibling, my nephews, and Victor, Big Victor, Big Vic, Victor, Little Vic, Little Victor's Vic. Oh God, try to work it out in my head. But I get to see the family, the Tucson family. And so that's it. That's making me excited. But Sunday after my party, I kind of fell apart. I really fell apart. And then yesterday I went down the wrong rabbit hole. And I'll get to that in a second. But I guess the reason I'm talking about this is I really want to be open about mental health, because I don't think enough people think about it. I had a friend a couple weeks ago say, Shelly, you're not working right now, so why don't you take the time and go to therapy? Because, you don't have to worry about getting off. You don't have to, And I thought, you know what? Yeah, how come I'm not doing that? So I made an appointment. And the first appointment for the insurance I have is the intake appointment. And that's because they want you to, they want to know where the person that's probably going to be best to talk to you. And that appointment was supposed to actually be this Thursday. But as it turns out, I get a call on the 9th. Shelly Marie, we have an appointment tomorrow. Would you like to come in and take it? Oh, yes, please, 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 please. I would love to take that. Just happened to be my birthday, my 50th birthday. And I thought, wow, the universe has given me a gift. And I got a lot out at that point. I realized, I know baby sibling and I were talking the other day. And she's like, well, why do you feel stuck? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, what do you think will help you get unstuck? I'm like, therapy. I was being a douche. I was being a dick. But, because we were talking about therapy, but no, really, I do think that will help, because in that first session, which is just the intake session where they figure out who to put me with, where to put me, and if they need to outsource me, because the last time I was in therapy, they had to outsource me to a specialist. And, because of the trauma that I dealt with, but this is run of the mill. I don't mean depression's run of the mill, but what I mean is there's no trauma involved. There's not trauma based. It's just trying to sort out my brain in a brain that's just constant chaos. I was kind of hinted at that I might have anxiety, which kind of blew me away, because I don't want that. But I also didn't want depression, but hello. But I realized that fear is a big part of my depression. This weird inability to move forward. And then in my email the other day, there was a class that says, how to let go of your emotional addiction. And I just read the email and I thought, well, do I need to take this class? I was like, no, this is the answer I was looking for. Good morning, Charlie. I know he's coming on for a reason, because he wants to see if I'm using the cup. I got this cup, one of my presents from Charlie and Matt, who did not foil me with the glitter bomb card. And it's official, because now I got my lipstick prints on it. But, with my peanut butter flavored coffee. But, one of the things I thought about is that it's this fear, this fear that's just sitting inside of me, and this addiction to an emotional past. And I have to tell you, I don't know how many people know this, but when I was when I had that big birthday, I did not mean to stay up until midnight. It just happened. But for me, it's really not the next day until I go to sleep. So when I went to sleep, I was still 49. When I was 50, I woke up feeling like this brand new person. But in that moment, because I was kind of panicking, it's like, oh, please don't let me die before 50. Because all these people seem to be dying before 50 this last year. And they were just like, oh my God. But when midnight hit, I didn't intend this. I didn't mean for it to happen, but I just had this sigh of relief. Just this, like this huge long exhale. And I realized that for all the good things that happened in my 40s were basically a fucking shit show. All right? I lost my mom, lost Sissy, lost 2 other people who were important in my life. You know, and I was kind of thrust into this healing journey that I wasn't sure I was ready for. But I was in my 40s. You'd think I'd be freaking ready for a healing journey, right? But the last year and a half, I think it really kind of been the biggest parts. And that's been where the struggle is. I healed my trauma. I healed the icky bad things that happened to me when I was a kid. You know, I healed my pain from my mother passing away. I healed, you know, the pain of nobody ever knowing my big secret. I healed a lot of different things. I healed Sissy being gone. I healed the family member that passed away. I healed the friend, the coworker that passed away. And yet still, I don't know. I don't know if I was waiting for literally a card of confetti to open up and glitter bomb me, or a parade, or I don't know what I was waiting for. But I got stuck in that emotion. And I think that's why I'm here now. And that's why I've been struggling through these vortex cards. I don't know if anyone's watched in the last week and a half, but me doing the vortex cards last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, Thursday, I was done. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. It's like, I'm not putting my best self into this. And like I said, people deserve my best self when I'm doing these. The Aloha Perspective is about showing people a perspective of healing and, you know, being honest about where we're at in our mental health and our, you know, not everybody has a dinged up mental health, but we get the blues. We get sad. You don't have to have depression to have what I call the common people blues. And common people being just people who don't have a dinged up mental health. When you have a dinged up mental health, the blues are like, they're on fucking steroids. Yesterday, I was doing my planner. Everything I had to do that day. I did 2 things, which I guess is better than 0. But I did 2 things and I thought, wow, it's the 16th. And then it was like, wow, it's the 16th. Oh my God, we're halfway through January. And next thing I thought is, whoa, it's almost like in 2 weeks, it's going to be February. And the next thing I know, I'm 51 years old. This was in 5 minutes. 5 minutes I did this. 5 minutes, I sent myself down the fucking rabbit hole. And I could not recover. I tried, but I couldn't. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take today. And then, you know, Sibling and I were watching the news. And they're all January, or this Monday. I don't know if it was January 16th, but I think it was. And they're all, yeah, today is considered to be one of the bluest days, according to a poll. And Sibling's like, I wonder why it's one of the bluest days. And I told her, I said, because it's the 16th. I said, most people who started their resolutions 2 weeks have gone out and they're petering out. You know, because we go so hard at things. We push so hard at things. And then when we don't accomplish things just like this, we're kind of like, oh, when we don't see instant results. This is part of the problem with social media. And yeah, I utilize social media, so I really shouldn't complain about it. But text messaging, cell phones, mobile phones, whatever you want to call them. We're always waiting for that instant response. And I think what we forget is that we're still human. You know, even when we're trying to manifest things, it doesn't always. I mean, it's nice when it happens like ASAP, right? But bigger things take time. And I think because we become impatient with it, we start, like with those cards earlier, we start to choose the wrong things. We start to think, well, this isn't working. You know, this isn't happening. Why is this not happening so quick? Why isn't this happening faster? I want it now. And then we start to choose the negative thing. Well, the universe has forgotten about me. God has forgotten about me. My higher power, my source, whoever has forgotten about me. You know, and we take it personally. And once we start taking it personally, we get negative. And once we start getting negative, we start falling into those old patterns again. And sometimes for people like me, it's a comfortable place to be. For the first 49 years of my life, I was dealing with stuff that I just didn't want to deal with. And I was dealing with that through the course of my life. I mean, in my 49th year, I finally hit this place where it's like, I felt like I could breathe. Like I felt I was in this big, open, spacious field with a beautiful apple tree that does not drop apples on my head, but a beautiful apple tree to just sit under and, if I get hungry, pluck one off, just eat it, whatever, but just this beautiful shade tree. I don't know why I said apple tree, because in my vision, where I go to meditate, it's like this really big, pretty, open field with like that tall grass and the beautiful yellow flowers that just kind of wave, like, in the wind, and look like waves in the wind. And this beautiful shade tree that just kind of shelters me from the sun, but in its own way, keeps me warm. Like there's some heater inside of the trunk. I don't know when I'm leaning on it, but it's my happy place. It's where I go. And I think sometimes we forget about these things. Everything starts to turn to dust and ash. And see, this is mental health. I literally forgot where my train of thought was going. But anyways, I do have a chart I wanted to read. It's called Things I Wish I Knew Sooner. And like I said, I posted it a couple years ago. I know I shifted really quick there, guys, but this is my brain. This is why I cannot do the vortex cards, the getting into your self-awareness cards, until I've healed my brain. And it doesn't mean I won't have a dinged up mental health. I will. But right now I'm in an episode. I can't figure out how long it's going to be. And I feel, like I said, if I'm going to do the vortex cards, the second half of them, you deserve the best from me. For me to kind of work the cards through with everybody. So right now it's just going to be the mental health stuff and just random stuff until my brain is better. So I don't know, it's kind of fun though, right? It's like going back to the old perspective. So things I wish I knew sooner. It's literally impossible to please everybody. And I said that earlier. Like I said, there was no intention to hurt anyone's feelings that weren't invited to my brunch on last Saturday, and there's no intentions of hurting the people that aren't invited to my brunch this Saturday. When I told my dad, I know so many people, how do I pick and choose? He's all, pick the people that are close to you in your life, that mean the most to you in your life, that are very special to you in your life. And that's how I picked Saturday. The people that feel like family to me, the people that have really kind of been on this journey with me, that have kind of, just given me a leg up when I've needed one. And that's the same with Saturday. Although baby sibling invited herself. I'm just kidding. She knew she was invited, but I feel bad because she's coming a long way for this, but she has been a huge part of my journey. And everybody has. But everybody there at that brunch Saturday have really added to my life. They've figured in very positive, beautiful ways that helped me really get through. She says you mailed me an invite. I know. I did. I did. I wanted her to feel, I didn't want her to just say, oh yeah, baby sibling, are you coming to my 50th birthday? But, she told me she wouldn't miss it for the world. And that actually made me tear up after I was done talking to her. But I did. I had to make it official and invite her. But, with a card, with an invite. But everybody, so my dad said, he said, choose the people that, that you're close to, that you love. And I love everybody. Come on. I love everybody. But these are the people that are the closest to me. That when, I start falling in a hole, I hear their words in my head. My friend Charlie, well, I'm not sure if he's still on. He, went back in 2017. He's the one that really kind of suggested He was the third person in one day to say, well, maybe you should try therapy. It's like, yeah, it's been a while since I've been there. And my first two experiences blew hard. But this third time, was the charm. Boy, I went in 6 months of intensive therapy and I wasn't healed, but I had the tools. And so I kept working and working and working towards that. And one of the things that I am still working on, though, is people pleasing. So when it says it's literally impossible to please everybody. I think we're taught that when we're kids, but I think we forget it because what our parents tell us or whoever raises us tells us versus what we learn on our own in school or in social situations. We just want to be loved. We just want to be liked. We just want people to see us. And so sometimes we get into this people-pleasing mode. And again, things I wish I knew sooner. I wish I knew how to not people-please sooner. Because that was part of my anxiety. What if when we post pictures on Facebook, who's going to be angry? Who's going to be mad that they weren't invited? But it wasn't that. I explained the people I invited are like family to me. And they've been a pivotal part of my journey. And that goes with the same thing for the people on this coming Saturday. They've been a pivotal part of my journey. And so let's see, the next one. You don't have to be available for other people 24/7. You do not. All right? Choose a cutoff time. You want your family time at 7 o'clock, or you want to just be with your people, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Anybody that's important, well, I shouldn't say anybody that's important. Everybody's important. But what I mean is, the people that you have that are starred in your phone will be able to get through if they need you. Okay? But you do not have to be there for people 24/7. You got to be there for yourself. Sometimes we spend so much time taking care of other people, we forget to take care of ourselves. And then we fall apart. And then we just magically and in the greatest ways fall apart. Like Scarlett O'Hara on a bad day. She was already dramatic on a good day. So, the next one. It doesn't make you weak to ask for help. I personally think it takes more strength to ask for help than to not ask for help. Because we're going against everything we're taught. We're going against everything. Especially, I was raised by boomers. All right. Don't get me wrong. I love baby boomers. Okay. So I'm not exactly thrilled with the term boomers because, my parents were baby boomers. But so was older sibling. It just happens to fall into that area. Before Gen X, who, by the way, ruled the world. But anyways, I know. Again, I know I've seen some Gen Xers on here, so we definitely outnumber everybody else on this live. But my point being, we're often taught, I was raised by a generation that we don't talk about it, we don't deal with it, it's supposed to make you stronger. You are not a weak person, you are stronger. And you can do this. You can, you can push through on your own. And, I think that was my mom. That was very much my mom. We don't talk about this stuff. And like I said, I've talked about in other perspectives how I really think she kind of had a reason for that because depression did run in her family. But I don't think she wanted to admit it. It doesn't mean everyone is going to have it. It just means that, there was a family member that did have it and it did not end well. And I think she was worried about that for me. So I try to understand that now. But I did need help. And I spent 23 years ignoring my mental health until older sibling came along and really kind of, she played the long game on that one. She played the seriously long game on this one because I was so resistant because I didn't think I needed it. I didn't need help.
I'm not sure I understand.
Whoa. Sorry. Apparently I just set off my watch. But see, that was like my mom. I don't think I understand. Oh my God, that is so funny. Maybe that was my mother talking through my watch. I don't think I understand. She didn't understand. Oh, that is fucking hilarious. But anyways, I really do think it takes more strength to ask for help than to not ask for help. So if you need help, the one thing I love about therapy is it's personal, it's private. Nobody has to know that you're going through this. Because I know some people are secretive about it because they feel stigmatized. That's why I do the perspective, because I don't want people to feel stigmatized. People always sit there and go, wow, I've had people say to me, and this is not to toot my own horn, but I've had people say to me, thank you for being so open about your mental health. It's helped me be more open about my mental health, and it's helped me to start advocating as well, or thank you for being so open. But I've also had people say, why do you talk about that stuff so much? And that question is exactly why I do it. Because why do we have to ask? Why do people who don't feel healthy in their mind have to feel like they have to hide behind a curtain? Who feel alone, who isolate because no one's there to listen or understand. You don't have to understand. You don't have to understand like Siri. I don't think I understand. You don't have to understand mental health to be there for someone. Sometimes they just need an ear or they just need a shoulder. And I had to learn that along the way too, because I was so wrapped up in my own mental health issues that I was trying to fix everybody else because they didn't know how to fix me. And that's one of the reasons I'm going back to therapy, because there's something locked inside of me and I can't figure out what it is. Or maybe that's just it. Maybe there's nothing locked inside of me and I'm just attached to all these emotions I had before I became 50. Before I had that big birthday. So the next one, it's okay to cut off people that haven't earned a spot in your life. Toxic people, that's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. We do not need to keep people in our lives who do not deserve to be in our lives. Whether we love them, whether they're family, whether they're friends, whoever they are. If they do not bring positivity to your life, if they are constantly bringing you down, being negative, being toxic, walk away. I mean, that's a personal choice again. But see, baby sibling, that's what I've been doing, getting rid of all the toxic people, all of them. I know it's hard and I know it's scary, but it's that emotional addiction, right? I think sometimes we keep people around because of that emotional addiction, because we need that from them. Or maybe it's something so familiar we don't know how to pull away from it. And that's not good for us. That's not good for anybody. So, my tummy's growling. I must be hungry. You know what? Right now, all I can think about is cheesecake. Seriously. But it's okay to cut off people that haven't earned a spot in your life. Period. All right? It's not your responsibility to fix everyone else's problems. Didn't I just cover this? I totally feel like I just covered this, right? So, if she doesn't mind, I'm going to share. So, baby siblings on. And I like to use this as a point of reference. And I don't think it happened so it'd be something I can talk about. I think it happened because I had a lesson I needed to learn. And, I'm an only child. So I adopted baby sibling. Baby sibling is actually my cousin. She's one of my baby cousins. We look zero alike. Well, we both have big eyes. I think that's the Hawaiian side. But, and then there's older sibling. But that's funny because older sibling and baby sibling look like they should be related. And I'm just kind of I am the glue that holds everyone together. What can I say? But they're both so important to me. I mean, they're, just really my world. And same with my dad. And, and my world once more is starting to expand. I want to really go back to being a social butterfly. So, older siblings on now. Thank you for joining. So anyways, baby sibling's been through a lot in the last 4 years. When not long after she turned 31, her husband passed away. She became a widow very, very young. I mean, barely into her 30s. She blinked and she was barely 30. And all of a sudden, she's a single mom with 2 kids, trying to navigate her own pain, trying to navigate everybody else's pain, and trying to navigate, more importantly, or most importantly, aside from her own pain, her children's pain. The youngest one being like, Mom, it's hard to remember Dad. Or this, that, or the other. And so as life goes on, you see people struggling. And that was the hardest part for me, is I hate to see the people I care about so much struggling. But I kept overstepping without realizing I was overstepping. Until one day she just, whew, like a volcano. She just, I mean, not mean, but she spilled everything. And I have to say, if she didn't love me so much, I probably would have been one of the toxic people she cut out of her life. But it taught me a lesson. And it taught me a lesson all the way around. Not just with her, but with other people. And I realized, wow, I really have more work to do on myself, because here I'm trying to fix other people, but I can't fix my own shit. Right? So, we had a couple of conversations afterwards, and I feel now that we're probably really on good standing now. That we're back to where we were, but in a healthier place, I think. At least on my part, in a healthier place, because I was the one that was kind of being toxic unintentionally in that situation. And I say unintentionally because it wasn't on purpose. I didn't want the people around me to hurt. But I also realized I can't fix people. We can't fix people. We can be there for them. We can give them compassion. We can give them empathy. We can give them a shoulder to lean on, a hug if they need it. But we cannot fix other people. That is their responsibility. I got the long I love you. The text messages this morning were hilarious. I could not say love you to save my life. I just kept mistyping everything. But I learned, and I thank her for not booting me. Because when I think back on it, I probably would have been like, you know what, I don't fucking need you. You're just, you know what, you are not adding to my life. You're not adding to my life in a good way. You're just making everything harder for me. And that's exactly what I was doing. And, I talked about that, how I used to be, there's a term out there that says hurt people hurt people. I used to be a hurt person that hurt people. And this is way before the whole I need to fix you thing happened. But I was honest about that on Twitter. Somebody posted a question and I said, oh gosh, that used to be me. And they actually thanked me for my honesty. And I was like, you don't need to thank me for my honesty. I mean, this is what we all do, right? But I think the reason they thank me for my honesty is because not a lot of people, when I looked at the comments, not a lot of people would admit to it. I don't have a problem admitting to it. Because that's how we help other people. We show them, look, we're good people who sometimes have bad moods or bad experiences. And bad things that happen that cause these things. But it's also here to show people that, you know what, when we're projecting onto other people, perhaps there's something that we need to see in ourselves. To put that mirror up to our own face. I had the mirror put up to my face, but it wasn't done by me. It was done by baby sibling. And it was a huge mirror. It was one I really, really needed to see. So just remember, it is not our responsibility to fix everyone else's problems. Just be there for them. Be an ear, be a shoulder. But we can't overstep and fix things because only they know how to fix it. That's how we learn, right? That's how we get stronger. That's how we gain that experience. And let's see, your worth isn't found in other people's opinions. I have one thing to say about that. What other people think about you is not your opinion or not your business. Sorry. What other people think of you is not your business. I learned that phrase late in my 40s, and boy, it's been a game changer. It really has been a game changer for me because, I used to always base my value and my worth on what other people thought. And I think maybe that's one of the things I struggle with is I'd really hoped that by now I had gotten healthier in my life and, really kind of focused more on my health because like I said, I got a heart I got to take care of. And I haven't. And so I've struggled. And I think that's also what adds to my struggles. But I think a lot of times too, we try to do things for the wrong reason. We want people to see us. We want people to love us. And so we start conforming to other people's ideas of who we should be. Instead of, and that makes us sadder, right? It makes us moodier. It makes us just want of that. Because we're not being true to ourselves. We're not being our authentic self. You know, someone shouldn't love you or like you or want to hang out with you because of what you look like on the outside. It should be because of what's in here. Are you a good person? You know, are you a good friend? Are you the kind of friend that when you need someone, someone's there for you? You know? And I think that's really what it is. And when we stop listening to other people's opinions, we start to remember who we are. You know, I've always walked to a different beat. Always. Since I was a kid. I always dressed differently. I always thought differently. Most of my music that I listened to was way different than my cousins. Well, not the one in Arizona, but by the time she was a teenager, I was full on adult by then. But what I mean is the cousins I actually grew up with, our tastes were so different, and yet we all loved each other. We all love each other. It didn't matter our differences because they loved me for who was in here. You know, not what I listened to, not what the outside was, not the clothes I wore. You know, I mean, the other day I wore a dress and a pair of Doc Martens to my birthday while it was pouring rain. And it's like, I mean, actually the Docs figured into the rain, but it's like, I didn't care because I'd wear that on a regular day too. I'll probably wear it this weekend at my birthday. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But my point is that I've always walked to a different beat. Excuse me. And I used to feel so outcasted by it. And I realize now I'm the only one outcasting me. You know, several years ago, sibling and I went to a Paley Fest. And I had this really pretty spring floral dress. And I chose to wear black tights. It was like a sleeveless one because it was springtime. And my purple Doc Martens. All right. And siblings like, not the choice I would have made. But she's all, it's you. It's your choice. You do what you want. Boy, I can't tell you how many compliments I got from people. They're all, I love your fashion choices. They're all, you're so brave. They're all, I really wish I could do that. And I'm like, just do it. Don't worry about what other people think. And I realized in that moment, which took me a long time to really kind of solidify it in my brain, if I'm happy with the person that's walking out the door, I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks anymore. It's not, what they're thinking is not my business. You know, maybe people put us down or put somebody down because they don't have that courage. Because, you know, there are times when people of different sizes put each other down. And maybe it's because, you know, maybe they're sad that they don't have that, you know, what do you call it? Motivation or drive. Or maybe they're sad because they're not comfortable in their body and they see somebody else who is and they're like, you know, and that's all I want to be. I just want to be comfortable in my body. But like I said, when I walk out that door, it's my choice. My choice. And I don't care what other people think anymore. Because we shouldn't. Our opinion of ourselves is the most important opinion you are ever going to have. So when you look in the mirror every morning, tell yourself you love you. Say, hey, you know what? You're fabulous. You're amazing. You're great. If you pair, you know, whatever pair of shoes with whatever, maybe you pick a pair of Converse with, you know, nice slacks and a nice shirt and you're like, hey, I'm going with this. You know what? If it makes you happy, do it. Do it. Don't worry about what other people think. All right. And lastly, here it is. I think I went the right way. I didn't think I was going to go the right way, but I did. We're harder on ourselves than we need to be. We are harder on ourselves than we need to be. I know. Do I really need to say anything about that? Because I think I just covered it. I really do. I think all of these covered it. It's literally impossible to please everybody. You don't have to be available for other people 24/7. It doesn't make you weak to ask for help. It's okay to cut off people that haven't earned a spot in your life. It's not your responsibility to fix everyone else's problems. Your worth isn't found in the opinion of others. And we're harder on ourselves than we need to be. Flip the narrative. Instead of being angry with yourself, if you're angry with yourself, or instead of putting your body down, you know, or instead of putting your looks down or your hair down or whatever, you know, whatever negative thing you find about yourself, look in the mirror and flip it. Thank you, body, for keeping me alive. Yes, I have a dinged up mental health, but thank you, brain, for helping me try to figure out how to move forward with this, how to work things out, for realizing that journaling is probably my one biggest savior in all of this. You know, I wear glasses, and boy, if they didn't make fancy glasses the way they do now, they look like Coke bottles. I am legit that vision impaired. But I can see. There are a lot of people who don't have that gift. Be grateful for your ears. Maybe you don't hear all that great, but you can still hear. Be grateful for your voice, because you have one. Because you can speak, because you can hear, because you can see. Be grateful for your hair on your head, whether you have a lot or a little. Mine's a mess, but I just kind of pulled it back today. But because you have it. A lot of people don't. Be grateful for your legs, your arms, you know, because there are people who can't use theirs. We need to stop being so hard on ourselves. I think that's really where it all begins. You know, these are things it says things I wish, that's what it's called. Things I wish I knew sooner, from Simply Sophie Designs. And the first one at the very bottom, we're harder on ourselves than we need to be. So let's move forward. Okay, let's not be so hard on ourselves anymore. Let's take the time to see ourselves and to, you know, really kind of buckle down and love the person that we are. Don't worry about other people's opinions about you, because, you know, some people, have you ever noticed that some people have opinions about you and then their life falls apart? That's because they're so busy worrying about everybody else that they're not focusing on their own lives. That's right. And I get judgy. I admit I get judgy sometimes. But when I stop and I feel myself judging something, I think, whoa, what's going on with me? And then I realize there's probably something that's irritating me. And I'm like, ugh, you know, not the human trait you really want to come out, but the one that does. So we're human. We're not going to be perfect. I mean, you know, I'm sitting here, be positive, things I wish I knew sooner. I'm going out today and I'm going for a short drive with older sibling, you know, get some coffee, do all this stuff. And you know, the minute I hit the freeway, fuck you, asshole. Yeah, because that's how I roll. I'm like, positivity, positivity, be kind, be kind, be kind. And then it's all this on the freeway. Or on the road. Sometimes I think when Thanos snapped his finger, half the world didn't disappear, half the world just became stupid. So anyway, but so yeah, we're human. You know, we don't have to be perfect, but what we do have to do is love ourselves. Because when we learn to love ourselves completely, we learn how to love other people. It benefits our relationships, our friendships, our family relationships. When we learn to cut out the toxic people, sometimes when we cut out toxic people, other people might leave with them. That used to bother me. I don't care anymore. I don't. Because what am I going to do? The people that are in my life are the people that love me and that I love. And who choose to stay in my life, who I choose to keep in my life. Because they add to it. Even the people that think they don't see me that often, that I don't think about them, I do. I see you. Because everybody that's still in my life that I love so much has been a big part of this journey. You know? And it's not just about baby sibling and older sibling. It's about everybody. But think of it this way. Baby sibling and older sibling they're the band leaders. They're the ones, you know, in the front holding that parade banner, right? And there's my dad with the, like, the band leader guy. And then there's me feeling like 50,000 people behind that banner. Because my brain is going in every direction. But, like I said, the very last one. We're harder on ourselves than we need to be. We don't need to be. You know, if you make a decision, stick to it. If it's, you know, not every decision we make is going to be easy. A lot of them will be hard, especially when you're cutting out people that have not earned a spot in your life. It's difficult. It's painful in a lot of situations. It's sad. And it's scary to wonder what it's going to be like to move on from them. But as you move away from the toxic behavior, as you move away from all that pain and towards this beautiful thing, you start to create other things. You start to bring in the people that might fill the void of those other people. You know, but we have to give it that chance. So anyways, I will see you back here tomorrow. Is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'll see you back here tomorrow, Wednesday, for self-care. Self-care. I know this felt like self-care, right? But I think that's what this week is going to be about. It's going to be about self-care, mental health, all this good stuff. Still not sure if I'm going to have a show Friday because I have to meet my dad earlier than I expected. So there may not be an Aloha Oracle this Friday, but I do promise I'm going to do my best to get back to it next Friday if we don't have one this Friday. So that's still up in the air. So if you don't see me at 8:30, you know. So anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please take care of yourselves. Practice good mental health, practice good self-care. Don't worry about what other people think about you, okay? Your opinion, again, is the most important opinion of all, above all, right? You have to love yourself in order to love other people. So I'll see everybody back here tomorrow, Self-Care Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Marie Lucas. You can also catch the replay on my Facebook page, the Aloha Perspective, or my YouTube page under, again, the Aloha Perspective. If you follow me on Twitter, you will probably find me there. Right now, because I'm not doing the self-awareness cards, there's probably not going to be any TikToks or Instagrams, but, you know, I'll probably post this graphic onto Instagram later and in the comments of the Facebook Live. And again, Facebook Live, they're all public, so if you're watching this on YouTube later and you're like, where do I find this? Because it's hard to put graphics in their comments. So just go to Facebook, Shelley Marie Lucas. Like I said, they're public, so anybody can see it. You can see all the comments and everything, and you will find the graphic in there, okay? So again, have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. For all of you who stayed on to the very, very end, thank you so much. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.